Yo, what's poppin'? Today I'm going to be going over my Harpy deck list, Tri-Brigade Madness. It's like a worse version of Bird Up, but it's a lot of fun. You can surprise people, and you could, tell your friends that you're beating 1,300 rated players with Harpies. So yeah, we'll go over the card by card, tell you what they do and kind of how to use them, and then I'll show a replay. I'm going to be showing a couple of replays over the coming days using this deck. Yeah, so let's just hop right in. To start, we've got 3 Harpy Channeler. This one, basically, you discard a Harpy, special summon a Harpy from your deck. That's usually going to be Perfumer. When Perfumer is summoned, she says that you can add a card that specifically lists Harpy Lady Sisters in its card text to your hand, so that's either going to be Elegant Egotist or Harpy's Hunting Ground. Harpy Lady 1 is the best generic Harpy. She lets you boost all of your guys, or your gals, I guess, and they can get pretty big when you have multiples of these guys on the board. Egotist, we all know what it does, special summon a Harpy. Hunting Ground is searchable, so you may as well. We've got a Feather Duster. Again, it's searchable, so you may as well throw it in. Hysteric Sign, really good card. It lets you either add Egotist from deck or graveyard to hand. It's important to remember that it can add from graveyard. Or if you didn't use that first effect and it gets sent to the graveyard, during the end phase you can add 3 Harpy cards with different names from your deck to your hand. What that means is that this main decked VFD right here is searchable. So why wouldn't you run the deck? That's basically it. This is basically the only reason to play this deck over Bird Up or any other of the Tri-Brigade mashups. Just having this card be searchable and having it be you can activate it from your hand is just wild. Onto the Tri-Brigades. I will not be able to say that correctly, so I'm just going to leave the stutters in there. We have 1 Karos, 1 Nerval, 3 Fractal. So the Fractal, again, is searchable with Tenki, so that's why we max out on these guys. And then Nerval, we can either summon off of Samorg or just send it with the Fractal to add Karos. I have tried running a few more of the Tri-Brigade cards, but I just found it a little bit cloggy, but you know, that is something to consider. Stormwinds, we always want this on our end board so that our opponent just can't play the game. 3 Ram and a Barrage. This is a newer edition, but it's nice to have a backup search off of Tenki. You can also, if you just open like Ram plus Sign, go Ram into Trident pop Sign, and then add, then we go Super Plus in the end phase. And then Barrage also just acts as an extender. If you have like a Harpy Lady, a Fractal, and a Ram, for instance, and a Barrage, excuse me, you can like summon the Harpy, Barrage out Ram, Harpy plus Ram into Blossom, and then special out the Fractal, and then make plays from there. Anyway, again, 3 Tenki, searches Fractal or Ram, and 8 hand traps. 3 Ash, 3 Nib, 2 Ghost Spell. I am running a little bit fewer hand traps than I normally would in a kind of rogue-esque deck because we do have access to the Featherstorm. So what'll also happen a lot is like you summon a Harpy, bait out a negate going second. They try and negate whatever card you're using, slap down Featherstorm, and then they get really mad at you. Side deck is just mostly a bunch of situational cards, but 3 Lancia, it's a great hand trap against the main meta stuff. Dark Samorg just crushes back row decks. 3 Evenly, 3 Droll, double Cosmic, and 3 Skullmeister. For the extra deck, we have One Cyber Slash Harpy. She can, if you need a big monster on board, just, two Harpies or whatever, you can get her out. And her effect isn't super relevant, but it does come up when a spell or trap card or effect is activated. You can target one monster your opponent controls or one Harpy you control, and return it to the hand. So, if you summon her out, activate Egotist, you can return your opponent's big monster and then get a monster on board and keep playing. I'm running double Borbo Drident as my Zodiac monsters. It's nice to be able to have two Borbos if in case we want to turn one, go just Ram Borbo Drident, and then if we still need quick access to Zeus later, we can go still go Borbo, attack directly, and go into Zeus. Lightning Chidori is a card that I did not have enough appreciation for until recently, but summoning it and being able to force out a set card or just return it to the bottom of the deck is great. And then also, detaching to return a card to the top of the deck, a face-up card, really good. It's really good at clearing out your opponent's field, right? This guy's going to get rid of two cards on its own, makes the Zeus plays safer. It's a pretty good card. Helps you push for game too. Tornado Dragon also lets us pop Hysteric Sign. It's wind, so it gets big off of the other Harpy ladies. Pretty decent card. Dweller is situationally very good. I'm thinking about replacing it. I haven't been going into it much lately, but when you do summon it and you can, when the decks that this is good against, it will just kill. So, you kind of go back and forth there. Zeus is Zeus, and Zeus is also Zeus. So Zeus, it does Zeus things. One Link Rebo helps us protect our barrier statue. I don't use it super often because we're only running the one level 1, but he does come up. Double Dragon Lords, another good card. It's great for an interruption. You can send Tenki or, again, Hysteric Sign. I think you're noticing a trend here. We want to send Hysteric Sign and just add 3 cards from our deck to our hand. One Blossom, great for extending and special summoning, Tri-Brigades or even Ram from our hand. Harpy Conductor, another good way. If we open Egotist and Fractal, we can go into Conductor, then still activate the Egotist, get more bodies on board, and keep pushing some more. Going +1 in the end phase, every end phase, pretty good. Rugal, I don't go into that much now that I think about it. This might get replaced. And Shurag, non-targeting banishing, pretty solid. It also floats upon removal of the field, so pretty good card. So you might be wondering, why would you play this over Bird Up? Bird Up is pretty close to meta at this point, like tier 1.5, tier 2, somewhere in there. The main reasons are, 1, we can search Harpy's Featherstorm. 2, it's a little bit rogue, so you get the benefits of, your opponent not knowing what your cards do. So many people ash Harpy Perfumer. It's like, that's like the worst card in the deck. Don't ash that. Also, with this deck, you are able to search Harpy's Featherstorm, which is really nice. Again, it's a great card. With Egotist and, even Harpy Channeler, you're able to storm the field. A legitimate win con can be just getting a lot of monsters on board with Harpy Lady 1, boosting them up a lot. Also with this deck, we're able to search Harpy's Featherstorm, which is just such a strong card. Like, it's really important. Also, being able to run this small Zodiac engine is really nice. Again, Barrage as an extender. Ram just lets us get into Trident and get another interruption with, again, easier Zeus access. And finally, the main benefit of this deck is that we're able to search Harpy's Featherstorm, which is just such a good card, right? If you just have a Harpy Lady and Featherstorm, even if you don't have any other plays, you're in a pretty good spot to win the game unless you're playing like Eldritch. The last question you might have is how is this deck going to change with the upcoming format? I know the ban list just dropped yesterday, but basically the only thing that's going to change with this deck is that in relation to the meta decks, it's going to be a little bit stronger. VFD got banned, so Virtual Worlds is a little bit weaker. Dragatron is weaker. Dragon Link is still really, really strong. But as the meta decks get a little bit weaker, my rogue stuff gets a little bit stronger. So that's basically it. We'll hop into a couple combos and I'll show you what we can do here. So this replay here, don't expect too much out of it. Basically, it's a test hand showcase that shows like what the deck can do, what the Harpy cards contribute to it. But yeah, my opponent bricks to all hell, so the game goes pretty quick. But like I said, it's just kind of showcases what the deck can do. So we win the RPS, go first, clearly. We start with Fractal, Hysteric Sign, Feather Duster, and Channeler. Our opponent starts with Zombie World, Droplet, Mizuki. So not ideal. Not ideal, to say the least. Opening 3 Zombie World, not good. But our hand is kind of crazy. Opening 2 Sign is never good, but Channeler and a discard plus a Tri-Brigade monster, that's a pretty good hand. Main one, we discard Feather Duster for Channeler, Special Summon Perfumer, add Egotist. We'll activate the Egotist, bring out Harpy Lady 1, go into Blossom, Special Summon the Fractal, banish 2, Special Summon Double Dragon Lords. Again, like these two together is so crazy because it's an interruption and then it's a +3. Like, I mean, what else can you ask for? We'll take the other Egotist out of the deck and go into some more. I wanted to leave some gas in the tank. Like, I also could have, for instance, activated Egotist, Special Summon another Harpy Lady, gone for Dweller, or gone for, like, I don't know, depending on what the matchup was, like, gone for something like Tornado Dragon, but I just wanted to keep some gas in the tank and hold on to this sign. We draw Fractal, return sign, Fractal effect, send, add back Kairos, and again, we could keep extending here, but I decide not to. I want to keep some reserves, especially because we still have Harpy, whatever the Harpy link is. I literally already forgot. We still have that in the extra deck, so we could, like, you know, normal summon effect, special that, get another monster with Egotist, and just kind of pop off. Anyway, some more bring out Barrier, and yeah, we played pretty conservative, but we still have Dragon Lords plus Stormwind. So, like, most games, this right here is just going to win. Because it'll be like, you know, your opponent summons a monster, goes to battle phase, tries to attack the Stormwinds. We go double Dragon Lords, drop sign, and then return their monster to hand. And then what do? You can't special summon anything other than wins, and you're just kind of SOL. But his hand is not great. I'm not going to pretend it's good in the slightest. But he does have Droplet. And he has plenty of cards that he's fine discarding. So he does make a push here. So Droplet, discard 3, and he negates all 3 of my monsters. Samurai into Unizombie. Unizombie effect, send Doom King. Okay. Normal stuff here. He attacks. On attack of the Unizombie, we activate Lords even though it's negated, just so we can get Sign Engrave. Goes into Hulk and Bloom. Bring out Link Karibo and activate Bloom effect to bring out Jacko Boolan. So, I mean, all things considered, he's not in a great spot. But yeah, again, considering he opened literally 3 zombie world, that's not he's not doing too bad. So we get Sign Effect Engrave, add Featherstorm, Channeler, and Perfumer. And yeah, so the card advantage is just overwhelming. We've got 7 cards. He's technically got 4, but we're going to draw a card and we're going to negate all of his monster effects. Like, come on. Draw Nib. So we normal summon Channeler. Before we get the chance to activate the effect, he wants to go Boolan, and we just chain Featherstorm, and then he goes Doom King to banish my Simorg. Egotist. Overlay for Lightning Chidori. Oh yeah, we send back the Zombie World, make sure that's all he draws, which honestly wasn't a good play. I should have made him draw like either Doom King or Jacko Boolan. And I realized that as soon as I made that play, but it is what it is. We attack over, go into Zeus, send everything, and then Karis special summoned itself out, and we start banishing some monsters, and my opponent leaves. So again, that's more of a test hand showcase rather than an actual match. But I will have more matches coming in the future in the next couple days to show what this deck does against like really high rated people. I beat a couple like 1,300 plus people with this deck, which is a little bit wild. So yeah, I'll be showcasing those, and let's just keep pretending that Harpies are good. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.